Welcome to Rebel Watch, an all-Star Wars podcast.
Hey, what are you trying to push on us?
Perhaps you think you're being treated unfairly?
Guys, Mike just decided to tell me that I have nothing left to talk about in Star Wars. That's what he said.
I think Ez is out on Star Wars.
That's what he said. And I said, you know what?
Yeah.
I've absolutely had it. I've got so much to talk about. There's so much to say.
I hope so,
How
because
dare you?
feels like I'm the only one that even thinks about Star Wars anymore.
Oh my gosh.
It's okay.
Guys, there is so much to talk about, and we're going to just catch up on all of it. This is just going to be a hodgepodge. Welcome, by the way. Welcome.
Yeah, do we even need to be, courteous anymore, Ez?
Yeah.
They're shutting the channel down.
No, we're not shutting the channel down. We have to keep it going. I just want to say welcome, guys. It's Rebel Watch, and we love talking about Star Wars.
This is a podcast you're looking for.
It is. It really is. We got a lot to talk about today, Mike. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I want to talk about...
You want to talk about the Force? Do you want to talk about Jedis? Do you want to talk about Obi-Wan? You want to talk about...
I want to talk a little bit about
Porgs.
Obi-Wan. I want to talk about Porgs. I want to talk about Han Solo. And I want to talk about Rogue Squadron.
Holy smokes. Okay, we've got a lot.
Okay.
A lot to talk about. So where should we start? So we did... The most recent, I guess, is we start with Obi-Wan.
Yes.
The Obi-Wan standalone. You know why I really didn't want to comment on this,
Ooh.
and I didn't want to talk a lot about it? Just this in particular.
Okay. I'm curious now.
Because I'm afraid the rumors are false. I'm
What?
so nervous that it's not actually going to happen. I don't want to get my hopes up.
But it's what everyone wants, though.
It is what everyone wants, but I don't know.
Here's the thing. Did anyone say, we really want a Han Solo standalone movie?
No.
No. And to be honest, it looks like it's turning into garbage. Let's just call it what it is right now. It looks like it's going to be garbage. And that scares me.
Really?
Yeah, it really scares me. I would honestly...
I don't think it's going to be garbage. I think it's just going to be... I think it's in turmoil. They got some problems. Ron Howard's there. We're going to fix it.
Stop production. Everyone for years, even Ewan McGregor himself, has said, let's do an Obi-Wan Kenobi standalone film. And we said it several months ago, as you call it Kenobi from a certain point of view.
Right.
And you just make it. Or you make a book. Do something. Give him a novel. Do something. He's had novels in the past. Give him a canon novel now.
Yeah, I mean, according to Hollywood Reporter, right?
Yep.
It's. I mean, everyone's talked about it. It's coming out. It's the next big announcement, maybe after the Last Jedi. When? I mean, when are they going to announce it? Like, I mean, don't they have to go ahead and kind of put it on the?
They were supposed to announce the next standalone film. Kathleen Kennedy said,
Yeah.
in the summer.
Right.
But she made it sound like it was going to be like July or June or something like that. Well, that's since passed.
Right.
But so it probably would have been a D23, right?
Yeah.
So that's passed because of Han Solo. Because of the turmoil of Han Solo.
Sick and tired of it.
It's pushing everything back. I don't know, man.
I will say,
I'm not excited about it.
No, I'm still excited about it. I have said, like, okay, there's turmoil. That doesn't mean that it's gonna be a bad movie. So, like, I actually think they did the reshoots with Rogue One. I think it's gonna be, it's in good hands. So I trust them to. If Lord Miller were terrible, fire him. That's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever. Give him credit if you want to, and then get Ron Howard in there and finish the bad boy up. You know. But what I worry about is, like, are they rushing, pushing? Was that not in their plans? And they said, you know what? Oh, boy. We messed up Han Solo. Let's give the people what they want. Well, sorry. That should have been the first thing that you did.
Should have.
But it's okay. I'm just worried to even... I just don't want to get my hopes up. That's my biggest thing is I want it to happen.
Yeah.
But I really want it to happen because I think, I don't know. It would be epic. And right now is like the time to do it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I don't know, buddy. There was a rumor about who was going to maybe possibly direct it too, right?
Really?
Yeah, it was in here somewhere. I can't find it now, but because I'm a coward.
That's okay. But I mean, what do you... So it's absolutely something you want, right?
It is something I want, yeah.
You want it now.
I do. I just want it... Yeah, I wanted it years ago, yeah. But
so,
no,
so what do you want from it? What do you want? Do you want Ewan McGregor to come back and
you mean like what type of movie? Like what story plot?
Yeah, what kind of where do you want it to lie? What type of movie do you want it to be?
Okay, you know what's really cool? We just got done reading the Darth Vader comic, which picks up right after Episode 3.
Yep.
So we have Rogue One, which takes us right into A New Hope, Episode 4, correct? Mm-hmm. So we have Rebels that starts sometime after 3, several years after. There's some time goes by.
Yeah.
Kanan grows up and what have you.
Yep.
There's a Padawan learner, etc. It would be cool to get a little bit more, something similar to the Darth Vader comic where Obi-Wan, what happens to Obi-Wan directly after?
Oh,
what is his training? Because I actually think Ewan McGregor he's still, I don't know, he's not old enough to the point where I think we can make him look like old Ben.
Yeah.
So I think you have to get him closer to Episode 3 and figure out what happened. Were there missions? Were there things that he was involved with? Was Bail Organa? Were those two still doing things? Was there stuff happening on Tatooine that that Obi-Wan had to deal with?
Yeah.
I think the Tusken Raider Jedi, for example.
There could be
stuff like that.
We don't know.
Well, there actually is.
There actually is.
Yeah, they're actually. Well, that might be Legends. I can't remember.
Bring it back.
But anyway, there at least was, and I think there was a confrontation between them. So, things like that I think would be really cool to see.
I think you hit the nail on the head when you're talking about the time frame with Ewan McGregor. Not only is he, you could probably doctor him up to make him look a little older. Much more difficult, I feel like, to make them look younger. But you need to also be careful. We would have to see a young Luke at some point, right? You can't tread too close to that Episode 4 time frame because you don't want to throw some actor in there. Literally, I feel like that's what Han Solo is doing, honestly. I feel like they're treading way too close to Episode 4.
Right.
And
it's hard to believe.
It's hard to believe.
Yeah.
And I think that's dangerous territory. I wouldn't be mad if they did exactly what Rogue One did, tied it right into Episode 4, and they just right where Episode 3 picked off. You see Ewan just like, just kind of on scratching his beard.
Right after Episode 3?
Right after Episode 3.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be mad about that.
Yeah, because it's still really believable. Then it sort of makes sense when we have that actor playing Obi-Wan. It's like, okay, cool. I see this. What is the training like? Maybe we get a little inside, look at what it's like to train to become one with the Force.
Finally.
Yeah, I mean, like, what is that like? And I think, The Last Jedi is delving into the mysteries of the Force, sort of the ancient nature of the Force. And so it's like, maybe we could get some of that with Obi-Wan, which would be huge.
It would be huge.
And you don't have to sell us on an actor or anything like that. We already believe and we know that that's Obi-Wan, and we know he's communicating with Yoda and Qui-Gon, who has come back. You know what I mean? So it's like they're learning this new power. And I think as they learn about it, we could learn more about the beginnings of the Force, maybe learn about the Book of Wills. We could learn about a lot of different things. So,
and don't you think that would be a nice tie-in to the prequels, too? I don't feel like Star Wars has yet done a good enough job to tie those prequels in with where we are now, or kind of how we kind of conceptualize Star Wars and where it is right now.
You mean how it feels kind of disconnected?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a pretty good bridge. I thought, Rogue One tried to kind of do some of that, but again, like we said, it feels more like 4.
Yeah.
Than the prequels. And
exactly.
So, which is good. It was supposed to, based upon where it is in the timeline. So, I think this would be towards the beginning, but yet we're starting to see the Empire emerge. What does that look like in the early on? How are they converting, their destroyers and things?
Yeah.
How are they creating their vehicles and their, stormtroopers, etc.
Great point.
Right.
Just a birth of the Empire.
Right, exactly. Just to kind of see it. We see it in this Darth Vader comic, which is really cool because we still see, clone troopers who are worried about, they're getting older and what's their role going to be. They joke about being a part of, Emperor Palpatine's Royal Guard, which is huge.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that we really need to see.
That's a great point.
The beginnings. Yeah.
That's a great. That would just be a great opportunity to do that.
The other thing is too, you have this bridge between people. I think they're doing a really good job in their literature with showing us that this was once the Republic, and now it has turned into the Empire. These are the same people that fought alongside the Jedi that were good people, they're the good guys, essentially the good guys in episodes 1, 2, and 3. So now we get to see what happened. What's the propaganda? What's going on? In the a good novel that does that is like the Ahsoka novel.
Yeah,
that talks a little bit about that and things. So I think
even Battlefront 2, Inferno Squad.
Yeah, Inferno Squad does. Yes, it does. We get kind of we hear Versio. We hear about how he sort of has worked his way up through the ISB and things like that. Yeah,
and also Aiden's mother.
Yes,
and kind of those
propaganda, the artwork and stuff that she worked on and things like that. Yeah, exactly. So
there's a lot more there than I think I realized before we even started talking about it. You think it's just going to be Obi-Wan and his story, and then you mentioned kind of becoming one with the Force, and that's going to be super interesting. But also this birth of the Empire and what that looks like, and so that leads me to my next question. There has to be a villain,
and that's where I was going. Yep.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect.
What I would like the villain, or what I think the villain should be, it's not going to be, cannot be Darth Vader. Can't. Disagree?
Really?
No.
I don't know what else it would be.
There could be one more meeting early, like after he gets his lightsaber. We see him in the comic book, and maybe it's like he comes across his, but he definitely could not come across him on Tatooine. It would have to be a mission outside of Tatooine, somewhere else where Obi-Wan got involved again. And still, if it's close to Episode 3, we still get that line in Episode 4. A presence I haven't felt since. And then it's like,
that's it.
So it's still, we don't know when, right? When did he feel that presence last? And so you could have that. You definitely could. I worry though that they're going to overdo
Vader.
Yeah. So I think if you did come across, I think it would be kind of cool to see Obi-Wan avoiding Vader and sort of like having to maneuver around him, and he's this presence that you know about, but yet we're not going to have a lightsaber on lightsaber battle. That's not going to happen. But what I was hoping, or what I was thinking the villain would be, is kind of like in the Old Republic, where you had these Sith lords, ancient lords, who had preserved themselves. If we're going back into the nature of how do we become one with the Force, you have almost like at some point Sith lords had possessed other Jedi and Sith, and they had learned how to carry on and live on, right? Yeah. So I think that would be kind of neat to see him come across one of those spirits, or have to, I don't know, maybe work against a spirit of some kind, or
could it be an apprentice of Vader? I mean, would he take one on that soon, or maybe?
I don't know. I mean, if you go back and you look at,
the Emperor had people like Zyzer and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, so.
Oh, for sure. Like, I mean, in old canon under George Lucas, there was. I mean, Darth Vader in the video game. What was the video game?
No.
Was it Force Unleashed?
Yeah, Unleashed. Yeah.
Yep. And so he did have an apprentice, and that was canon. So,
oh my goodness,
it was.
Would they bring back Sam Witwer to be?
Holy
cow!
That would be so cool. That would be actually really cool.
He needs to be in a live action film.
Okay, even if it was, instead of how I said, like, Vader was sort of he was avoiding Vader, maybe he's avoiding this mysterious apprentice of Vader. But still, I don't see like a direct confrontation. I think it's more of a Obi-Wan versus the dark side of the Force, but not necessarily dark Force beings, really. Present day dark side beings. I don't know.
That's fair. I mean,
I don't know. That's just kind of that was my first initial gut thought about it. But
I mean, it would be really interesting to see even Leia, and maybe kind of her upbringing a little bit,
to hear about it,
a little bit, or what exactly anyone did. Oh, Mom's calling. Hey, Mom.
Hey, Mom.
Seriously, I'm an adult. I swear.
But yeah, to see her growing up.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. That'd be interesting.
And like you said, if it's early on and you get like some little, younger kids and things like that, or even if they're just referenced, I mean, I think that's pretty neat as well. So, but what you could do, if this whole Rey Kenobi thing is legit,
still believe that?
I don't know. I have no idea. Quite frankly, I have no clue. I'm baffled. I'm done talking about The Last Jedi. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I just don't know. They're doing such a good job with it, and they're keeping it under wraps. By the way, when are we getting a trailer for that?
That has to be soon, man.
Yeah, it's gotta be soon.
I'm getting real angsty.
I just want one more trailer and then I'm done.
Yeah.
Tell me nothing more.
Yep.
And I've been avoiding a lot of the spoilers and stuff out there, which is part of.
Agreed.
We haven't been looking real because it's like there's a lot of stuff out there that even Ryan Johnson came out and was like, okay, if you want to be surprised from the movie, like avoid this stuff. So I'm like, okay, I will do that because I would like to see it in its context. I like to see the way it was meant to be presented and to see the build up to things. I like to be surprised a little bit. So even though we speculate like crazy,
we do.
But back to Obi-Wan.
Well, so you don't think Vader's a possibility? What about the Emperor? Do you think we would see the Emperor? I feel like we don't see enough Emperor in Star Wars, other than the prequels.
If we saw the Emperor, I think it would be like the maybe he gives a few speeches, and then for the longest time, even in Legends, the Palpatine is nowhere to be found.
Yeah,
we know where he is, but like he's not out like he was. He's not the Supreme Chancellor anymore, so he's not out there giving speeches and things like that. It's sort of like he gives a few speeches, and then the Empire's in his control, and so it's sort of running itself, and he has other people speaking for him and stuff. So maybe to see a few speeches and to see him sort of talk, and then he kind of is. Who is it that's the mouthpiece for him? You know what I mean? Do we see someone else emerge and sort of talk to the galaxy?
And maybe Obi-Wan was communicating with other Jedi. Maybe he discovered other Jedi.
Good grief. You get like the brash vow, which is really interesting. So are there more Jedi like Master? Is it Infil'a? Are there more Jedi like him out there that Obi-Wan could interact with, etc.? So,
R.I.P.
Well, yeah. Yes. Yeah. He died, by the way.
Spoiler.
In case you haven't read the comics. He died. Vader killed him. Go Vader!
What we think, right? I mean, it looked like he...
Yeah. He killed him, and then he ate him.
Seriously.
Yeah. So, anyways, I don't know. What do you really want to see Vader, though? They could do Vader.
It would be a huge money. I mean, it's going to make a lot of money regardless, but I just don't know what else makes sense. If we're going to bring in such a familiar character with Obi-Wan, can you bring in some random villain? There has to be a villain. Mm-hmm.
It could be as an apprentice, but it could be if Obi-Wan does go on a mission and it's like in the outer rim somewhere away from, the center of the galaxy, and he's out on some Jedi outpost. I think you could come across some real ancient
Ahsoka?
Lord. Ahsoka. Maybe. Something like that.
That'd be cool.
That'd be kind of cool. Wow, that'd be really cool.
But you mean like an ancient Sith?
I think there's going to be some tie or some throwback to the ancient nature of the Force and to the Old Republic. I just think there has to be. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't see them doing Darth Vader. I really don't. But
interesting.
But would I be opposed? As long as they didn't overdo it, there's not like this, Episode 3 like battle again. Because then it sort of takes away from... I don't want them to take away from Episode 4 where they see each other and it has been... Because that's pretty powerful to think the last time they saw each other was in Episode 3. Yeah. That's something.
True.
So, it would have to be... Because I wouldn't want it to be... Like him avoiding Vader or his presence and things like that is cool. But then there's a bigger antagonist in the story would be neat. And it would not quite take away from their last encounter.
Interesting.
So, just my take on it. I don't know.
What do you want it to be called?
I have no idea. What
High Ground?
I saw that.
Terrible.
I know, that's terrible. That's so terrible.
The best one I saw, though, I think I Eat Tacos posted it. Was,
I love that guy.
I do too. It was Aunt Beru. It was just titled Beru, a Star Wars
story. And it was just like, it was something like, we all have a story or something, and she's just looking down in the kitchen. Oh my God.
That blue milk.
That was so cool.
That was so funny. It
was so good.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so let's see what else do we type down here. We wanted to maybe talk about. Let's just talk about one real specific thing on Han Solo.
Yeah.
Because you brought up an image of like possibly the helmet.
Yeah, it looks like a commander from the Death Star's helmet. Or lieutenant, or whatever the heck they wore. That black bicycle
like
looking helmet.
Darth Big Head. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
I don't know. I honestly just want Ron Howard to stop tweeting anything about this movie. Just make it happen. Make it good. Stop teasing us and being like, this is familiar Star Wars. Everything's going to be okay. You're just honestly confusing people.
Right.
And because if that's the Death Star, I don't know how that makes any sense with Han Solo.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't think that is going to be someone from the Death Star. I think we'll see that person in a different role because I'm with you. It just does not make sense.
Doesn't.
I think he's trying to reassure people that, hey, we're working on it. This stuff's still happening and is trying to calm things down. But I don't think the people, associated that character with the Death Star, and all of a sudden it was like,
yeah,
nuts. Like, are you seriously you're putting the Death Star in this?
Yeah.
I mean, Han Solo knows about it. That's not quite true. That I can't remember the rank of that person, but they work on all sorts of different,
I sure hope so.
They do. They're not just in the Death Star. So
I feel like the Death Star had its moment with Rogue One. We need to, and all the prequels, pretty much.
Yeah, I don't really
not the prequels, but the original movies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
just let it go. Let's do something different.
Right. Yeah. So what do you think the Han Solo movie is going to be about?
I have no idea. And that scares me.
Yeah,
and there's some people that are pissed right now thinking like, oh, a Han Solo movie, oh, an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie. People are talking about right now Star Wars getting small, and that's something that I never thought we would hear.
What do you mean?
Like the story and the Star Wars universe is just getting smaller because they're not expanding like they did with Rogue One on different stories. They're just focused on these characters that are safe.
Right.
But I think an Obi-Wan movie needs to happen because it's just too perfect with Ewan McGregor. But Han Solo didn't seem necessary.
It did not need to happen.
Yeah.
It could have been done years later.
Yeah.
When we had gone other places, it just didn't need to happen right there.
You already have our interest with The Force Awakens. That could have been a terrible movie, and it would have made record money.
Right.
And it would have been just because Star Wars. Everyone thought it was dead. Rogue One, a huge surprise, great movie. You don't need Hans. You don't need that. You don't need to play it safe. You don't need. It's just. What story is there to be told?
And Rogue One has such an interesting, formation. A guy looking at that one line in the opening crawl and saying, "What's the story behind that?" These plans are so important, and it involves. It's open ended. It involves brand new characters, a whole new team of people. It involves Rogue One.
Yeah.
Han Solo. He does have a mysterious, origin.
But
story.
That's what's appealing, right?
Yeah, but and it's been done in books a little bit. And it's been hinted at, but it's just like you said. It's sort of I want to. What's his name? Aldenreich.
Yeah.
I want to believe that he's Han Solo, and I think that he's a good-looking guy. I think he's going to do a great job, and I think he's worried about it. He's going to put everything he has into it, so he's going to be fine. But I don't know what story they're going to tell.
If you ask me, it's an unnecessary risk.
It's basically him getting the Falcon. It's the gambling that took place. Maybe the Kessel Run. Right? I don't know. I don't like an encounter with a bounty hunter. The Hutts.
Which is cool. Like it could be a great movie, but like you mentioned, they're running the risk of him not being Han Solo.
Yeah.
That close in age to where Harrison Ford was when he made this movie, it just feels unnecessary.
Also, I need to, because Han Solo was older than Luke and Leia. I kind of wonder where exactly this is trying to think back to when this is happening. You know what I mean? It's towards the end of 3, but it's outside of it's past 3.
Yeah, it has to be. Yeah.
Well,
he's not 10 years older than him, is he?
He's old. I think he's 9 or 10 years old.
Is he really?
Yeah. So because when Luke is born, Luke is born at the end of 3, so he's 10 years older. He's about 10 years old, I believe.
So are they early teenagers or something like that?
So this actually, where we were talking about Obi-Wan, we could see sort of like the formation of the Empire. We could see some of that. We could see him, from Han Solo's point of view.
Yeah, that would make sense.
In the Empire, you know what I mean?
That would make sense. Well, I mean, because he's always subverting the Empire, and so that would make sense. I think even more than in an Obi-Wan movie.
Yeah,
seeing that birth of the Empire. So, It seems unnecessary to me.
Man, I don't know. I didn't want to really talk about it anymore. I'm done.
Yeah, just scrap it.
We're done.
Just cut production.
Yeah, just moving on. So, it just worries me. So, all right, let's see what else we got. We talked just a little bit about. Let's skip the Darth Vader comic. We talked about that. Master Infil'a dies.
Oh, you just want to summarize it? We think Master Infil'a dies.
All that happens. It was, you guys have probably seen it and read it. We had done the first 3 issues, but we kind of were behind on the 4th one.
Wasn't the best issue.
It was just not much. I mean, Darth Vader did what we thought he was going to do, which was, refasten his leg back up and.
But was there? So let me skim through the beginning of it.
Yeah.
Was it? I wanted that moment for him to really define himself and to overcome this adversity. That could have went several issues, and it didn't.
Yeah, it was.
He comes back and kills him in one more issue. To me, that could have been several issue thing.
Yeah, they tried to play the whole Master. I mean, it was basically he had to kill innocent lives or threaten innocent lives to sort of distract. It was a very Sith-like thing to do, to throw Master Infil'a off and to get his lightsaber from him and to kill him, force choke him actually.
But it's
kind of cool that he actually.
Didn't it?
It was fast and it just kind of happened like that, and so I don't know. It wasn't too. Could have been, but the first 3, the build up to it was great, and then that happened, and you're kind of like, okay, and it just, I don't know. I thought he was going to go through more to get to where it was.
That's what I wanted from
to that
seeing
monster-like place. I don't know.
Yeah.
So.
The when we saw the cover weeks ago, that's what I wanted. I wanted to see him come back from this in a big way.
But I think I do think though that there are more things. There's more issues, and
yeah.
so there are other trials, so to speak, that he's going to go through.
I hope so.
Yeah, so I think this was a small one, and so They didn't want to drag this story with that Jedi Master out too long. You know what I mean?
That's true.
I think they wanted to keep him there, introduce him on that planet and kill him on that planet. So
there must be something epic coming then.
Yeah, I hope. I don't know. There'll be more. But that's just a quick,
Guess he needs a saber pretty quick, doesn't he?
He does. He needs that, and then it will increase in suspense. So
good call.
Porgs.
I love them.
Do you?
I think they're adorable.
Yeah, I think Chewie eats one too. I said that, and everyone's like, no.
He brings him on the Falcon and sits him on the console just to eat him.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he got hungry.
Maybe
he was dealing with something. But he spits him back out. I don't know. I don't know. Looked like he was eating something in that but behind the scenes reel.
The Porgs have their own line of toys now, and they're coming out on Force Friday this week. That tells me that's not just something that he eats.
Okay, maybe he ate a bird, and it was it was a bird outside that he ate. I don't know.
I don't know. We didn't see any toys from Jabba's little things that he eats.
That's right. That's right.
Whatever frog things.
Toads.
Toads.
I don't know what they were.
Whatever they were, they didn't have their own toy line. So the Porgs, they're not going to be the Ewoks. So they're not going to save the galaxy, but they are force sensitive.
Yeah,
and they serve a purpose, or they're just a comedic, segue or whatever for Chewie. Or I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what their role. They're cute.
They're just dinner.
They're not dinner, but. It's like, BB-8 sort of carried a lot of that comedic relief, right? And so he's going to be traveling with Poe and Finn and Rose. So
and Benicio del Toro, DJ.
Right.
Yeah, we spotted
or
that.
the evil BB-8.
Disney.
Right, yeah. Some people were saying that it could be another BB unit.
No, it's
It could be. I don't know, Mike.
It's BB-8.
I'm just saying. Okay,
it's BB-8. Okay.
All right, but
let's call it Porggate.
Porggate, it is.
Okay,
Porggate, it is. So I don't know what their role is going to be. I mean, it's cool. They look cute. If they're somehow connected to the Force or they're a conduit or something like that for the Force, then cool.
What do you think they sound like? If you could do an impression right now, how would it go?
Something like that.
That was terrifying. That was something out of the movie It. I just pictured you in a storm drain just going. It was like a chicken, but like a baby.
Should I keep doing it? Is it annoying?
I should go give it a shot.
I was trying like a chicken, like a.
It's terrifying.
Like a little.
It's terrifying.
You give me your impression.
I have no idea. I think they'd be like.
Is it deeper? Are they going to be speaking it like are they? Do they speak basic? Oh my gosh. They're not going to be doing like yub yub or anything like that.
Yeah, do they
like,
know basic? And yub yub?
I don't know.
It's probably going to be like the Caravan of Courage where Wicket.
I can't believe we just did that on the podcast.
I know. It's embarrassing. We should cut it right now and come back.
No, we're good.
Like when Wicket, he doesn't appear to know any basic, and then by freaking Battle of Endor, he's speaking fluent basic.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
I know. Yeah, Sendo? But I'm actually a little bit. I'm better at the Ewok. Like when it's Logray and Deej. Oh yeah.
Yeah. You do
I don't know what a
Ewok
Porg's
very
gonna sound
well.
like. I have no clue.
That was really good, though. I got to give you credit for that one.
I don't ever want to go back and listen to this episode again.
We're gonna get a clip when the movie comes out. We're gonna compare it.
We'll
to
compare
what you
it?
did.
Yeah, we'll
it's
see.
gonna be sick. It's gonna be so good.
What if they make like a really cute noise like that? That wasn't cute at all, was it?
It was adorable, also terrifying. Because
I don't know.
well, Porg Gate is in full swing, and let's hope for a Porg
Let's hope they
standalone
sound nothing
movie.
like that. Yeah, I'm down for
Right?
Porgs to wield lightsabers.
That's right. Maybe a crowd fund going for that or something. But
All right,
else
so
is
now we're into The Last Jedi.
yeah,
We're here. We're in The Last Jedi.
I feel like we're no closer.
I think what we need to think about here for a second is, BB-8's role. We had in The Force Awakens, we had to get him back.
We did.
We had the plans. We had to return him, etc.
Yes.
Yada
Yes.
yada.
Yep.
Okay. Let's talk about the droids. R2D2, C3PO, BB-8. What are their roles? What do they do? What role do they play, Mike?
Oh gosh, I don't
Which
know.
one do you want to start with?
BB-8 is supposed to have a huge role,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I
how
don't
can-
know. They're not giving us anything, man. They're not giving us anything.
And I feel like how can R2 not have a big role in this movie as well? Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, I feel like we'll see some flashbacks with him and Luke going to the temple,
Right.
things like that. I feel like he was underutilized in this movie, but everyone wants to see more R2 and
Right.
more, and people now want to see a lot of BB-8 as well. So,
Right.
I mean, we've been told specifically BB-8 is going to be huge.
Okay.
Just don't know why.
Right. And what I'm thinking, it's one of those things where it's sort of like, you remember how R2 would always sort of like, they're trying to get out in
Yep.
Empire Strikes Back, trying to get out of Cloud City. He is communicating, figures out the hyperdrive is
Thank
knocked
God.
out, and all these different things. And he's able to actually go back and fix it real quick and get
Yep.
him out of there. So I think that's sort of going to be BB-8, right? I think
Yeah.
he's going to play that type of role, that support role, where he gets him out of tight situations while they're engaged in blaster fire or lightsaber fight. Actually, it's going to be blaster fire until Luke shows
Or
up.
is it?
But I would love to see what I hope we see. We keep talking about reunions between the main characters. I hope we see an R2 BB-8 moment
Yeah.
together, saving the
Absolutely.
day sort of
Yes.
moment, right? I think that would be really neat. So, the character that baffles me. So I think that. What do you? Does that sound?
Yeah, I
good to
think
you?
that
mean,
sounds
that's-
amazing. Yeah.
Okay, cool. What about C3PO? I love C3PO.
I do too. And but he it seems like we saw that awesome picture of him in the command station.
Yeah, I know.
Like he's probably just gonna be hanging back with General Leia offering some advice, and she may be dismissing him or whatever. But he also has saved the day quite a few times.
Yeah.
So I don't count him out. But I think he's going to be kind of. I don't know if he's going to be going on so many adventures. I think that's going to be more BB-8.
Okay. I think what C3PO could do, because there's this gap between 6 and 7, is sometimes a one-liner or something like a reference to something in the past from C3PO. Maybe it's at a time where it's like, oh, why did you say like the main character would be like, why is he bringing that up or whatever? But to us, it's like, oh, there we go. That's what we needed.
That's right.
That's that nugget that we needed of information. Thank you, C3PO, for providing that. So,
That's right.
Like the secrets, some secret starts to slip out through C3PO.
Ooh.
Because sometimes he just says things that he doesn't, you know what I mean? So I could see him being that character that something leaks out
That's a
to
good
us
call.
as an element in the story that sort of,
That could be awesome.
I don't know. I was going to go with C3PO turns to the dark side, but I didn't.
Do you think? I mean, his eyes were pretty gold in that picture,
Right. something.
And that's full Sith when that happens.
That was pretty full
Shit.
Sith.
Do you think that's some nugget of information they put in the trailer?
I don't know. What if C3PO is an informant for
Jeez,
Snoke?
Pete. Spoiler
What
alert.
if
I
he's
feel like
an
we need to post that
informant?
picture right now and give a spoiler
Yep.
alert. he could be the Sith that we've all been thinking was in this movie.
Right, he could be, or he could be Snoke.
He could
Let's
be
talk about it.
Snoke.
C3PO
From the beginning
is
was Anakin. Holy
smokes. He saw the rise and the fall of the Empire.
Oh my God.
C3PO is Snoke.
Why has no
why has no one come up with that? That's what we do on Rebel Watch. I'm sorry, but we ask the questions that no one else is asking.
No, who's making that prediction?
I stole it from Matt Brady. Thank you, Matt.
Really?
But that line. No, not the C3PO
I was
thing.
like, wait, why
Great
you
job,
been
Matt.
holding back?
no, the whole we ask the questions. But
Epic.
yeah, I mean, let's think about it for a second. Again, I'm not saying like perhaps maybe C3PO is just sort of, it's like the Wizard of Oz. He's the guy behind the curtain pulling this puppet Snoke.
Well, and let's not forget,
Right.
he's been watching Anakin for several years, so he's
Right.
probably been learning from him.
Right.
Maybe maybe that's where Anakin got his kind of, brash kind of, just ego. And maybe
From C3PO?
C3PO's been feeding him a little something for years.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of...
Master, I'm going to be so sad when you leave. I've been just feeding you lies your
Right.
entire life.
and it's like, who's been close to Ben Solo this whole time?
Yeah.
Right? Who's been closer? C3PO.
Great point.
From the beginning.
Great point.
I can't believe we're saying it.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't know.
at this point, it's who the hell knows? That's no more invalid than anything else anyone else is saying. So
this is really, really...
this is just him. Maybe the image of
Interesting.
Snoke is just him garnering a human body.
You know what? I'm going to take this a step further.
Come on.
Why do you think R2 shut himself down?
for
R2
fear that C3PO
Would figure out
figure it
that he
out.
had the map
Yeah.
and would get to his map, right?
Great point.
So R2 knows that C3PO is trying to get either he's an informant for Snoke or he is flat out Snoke.
You're right.
Okay? And so then C3PO is
You're
trying
right.
to get the information from
I can't resist him. I'm just gonna shut down.
I'm going to shut him down.
His mind
He's-
tricks are just too
This is too
strong.
much. He will get the information. I need to go in low power mode
Oh my god, that's
for
hilarious.
years. R2 is dedicated.
Yeah, and I think
You know?
even he has Luke Skywalker stumped. That's why Luke is seeking the first Jedi temple.
He's so confused that
No idea.
yeah, we've always known that Snoke was closer to the Skywalkers than we realized, and
And you're telling me that C-3PO just happens to land on Tatooine with R2 and they stumble across Luke Skywalker, the son of their former master?
you're right.
There's a plot there, and it's not Sheev Palpatine.
You're right.
It's C-3PO.
Right.
Okay?
Orchestrated this whole thing
The whole
from
time.
the beginning.
Forget your Jar Jar theory. We need to worry about 3PO.
Oh my
Where
gosh.
I bet you're wondering how I got that red arm. Probably from some battle with an ancient Sith.
Right. I think I don't know, man. I don't know. I think we're on to something. I'm not quite sure what, but I think we're on to something.
I think it's the story.
Like that's it. I think
It's
that's it.
like we have the script right here.
C3PO is Snoke.
If you get a text from Mark Hamill right now, then we
Which
know
I
it's
often
confirmed.
do. I
Yep.
often do. So.
That's right. That's right.
All right,
Great
man.
theory, bro. Great
Yeah,
theory.
I'm glad we got there. Glad we went there.
Glad you got that off your chest.
Yeah, I did. Me too.
That's
So,
a big one.
That's huge.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. All right, guys.
Sorry.
You got anything else, Mike?
Nah, man.
We wouldn't tell folks. I mean, we love them.
You guys out there need to tell Ez to not give up on Star Wars, okay? Because Ez has a lot going on right now, and just don't forget about your roots.
Let's go.
Okay? You all just need to remind Ezra, do not forget about your roots. Star Wars is amazing. It's not going away. Don't forget about it.
Hit us up in the comments.
That's right.
Let's get the conversation going again.
That's right. That's right.
What do you think's happening? Is C3PO Snoke?
Yeah.
What's going on with Obi-Wan, etc.?
Yeah.
You know, I need a trailer and I need it now. I just
agree.
I don't know.
I agree.
There's just
I think we're dumbfounded right now because we need more. They've got us so stumped that we're talking about C-3PO being Snoke.
yeah, that's great. Actually,
It's amazing.
Again, no Snoke theory. We'll go there. But
Absolutely.
You know what? I just remember Captain Phasma, the book coming out soon.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Then,
Yeah.
what, a week or two?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Something like that?
Yeah. So Mike's almost done with Inferno Squad.
Yep.
Almost there.
Yep. About halfway there.
He pretty much knows what happens. He just wants to finish it first.
Right.
But and then we've got Battlefront 2 coming out, and we've got the Phasma book. So we got a couple things coming up that are going to be pretty cool, and we'll keep an eye on the Darth Vader comics and see where they take us and things like that. So yeah, all right, that's I think that's it for today, man. But if you guys have a Snoke theory,
come on,
hit us up.
Maybe a Porg theory.
Yeah,
Porg
theory.
Hashtag Porggate.
What's going on with it, etc. Should we just skip the Obi-Wan movie and like I Eat Tacos says, Baru? Just, there's a story.
There's a story to be told.
C3PO.
This whole time.
Yeah.
She didn't want those droids, did she?
I don't know. I don't. Wait a second.
Pretty sure she was.
Love affair, Baru, C3PO. I don't. Right? I don't know.
Baru and C3PO. A Star Wars love story.
Oh, man. Star-crossed lovers.
They are.
That's funny.
They are.
All right, guys. That's it. This got a little ridiculous today, but we love you. We want to hear from you, so hit us up.
Right.
And we'll be back. As always, may the Force be with you. Was that the Live Long and Prosper sign? Gosh dang it.
I had to do it. It's been too long. I had to make sure people were still Star Wars fans.
It's good. It's good.
Hey Star Wars fans, hope you enjoyed this edition of Rebel Watch. If you did, please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe to this channel. Also, if you'd like to become involved with this podcast, please go ahead and check us out at patreon.com/Rebel Watch. Thanks.